It was a quiet afternoon in Enchancia, the kind Sofia liked best, where the wind was warm, the clouds soft and slow, and the halls of the castle felt just calm enough to invite wonder. With King Roland and Prince James away at sea, and Amber busy preparing new fashion sketches for the upcoming harvest ball, Sofia had the day mostly to herself. She wasn't quite sure how she wanted to spend it, but she knew one thing for sure: she wanted to explore. As she strolled through the castle, the familiar sounds of the court faded behind her, the clinking of silverware at tea, the swishing of feather dusters, and the faint giggling of maids. Her amulet glowed faintly now and then, catching glimmers of sunlight through stained-glass windows. She passed the stateroom, then the music gallery, and paused when something curious reached her ears. It wasn't noise exactly, more like a hush filled with meaning. Music, a gentle, delicate harp melody, rich and emotional, coming from the old music room. A place that had once echoed with royal prep lessons and ensemble practices, but had long since fallen out of use. Sofia leaned closer. The song was beautiful, tender, yet hesitant, as if it wasn't sure it was allowed to be heard. She stepped into the room quietly. The light was filtered through tall windows, casting long shadows on the polished floor. At the far end sat a girl she'd never seen before. She had dark blonde curls and wore a modest blue dress. She sat in a simple wooden chair, plucking the strings of the harp with care. Her shoulders were hunched forward, as though shielding herself from being noticed. "Hi," Sofia said softly. The girl jumped and turned quickly. "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I was just waiting for my mom to finish work, and thought maybe I could." "It's okay," Sofia reassured. "That was really beautiful. I didn't mean to startle you." The girl looked down, clearly unsure. "I'm Delilah. My mom started working here in the laundry. She said I could come with her sometimes if I stayed quiet." Sofia's voice warmed. "I'm Sofia." She waited for recognition, but Delilah didn't gasp or bow. She just offered a small, unsure smile. "I really do think your playing was lovely," Sofia added, coming closer. "Do you like music?" "I love it," Delilah whispered. "But I don't really play for people anymore." "Why not?" Sofia asked, sitting beside her on a bench. Delilah fiddled with her fingers. "Back where we used to live, some people said I acted like I thought I was better than them, just because I played a few songs, so I stopped." Her voice grew quieter. "And when I stopped, no one seemed to mind." Sofia frowned. "That's not fair." "It's okay. I don't need anyone to listen. I just like to play when no one's around." But Sofia didn't agree. Something about this moment stirred in her heart. She had learned so many lessons since becoming a princess, about being kind, honest, brave, but she did not remember ever learning how to help someone who was afraid to shine. This was new and important. "You should play for people," Sofia said. "If you love something, you should share it. That's how others get to love it too." Delilah gave a small shrug. "Maybe for princesses, not for me." Sofia opened her mouth to respond, but the girl had already gone back to plucking quietly, signaling that the conversation, for now, was over. That evening, as the castle lit with candles and evening stars, Sofia sat at the window in her room, her fingers absent-mindedly tracing the outline of her amulet. Her mom walked in, carrying folded sheets of music for Amber's ball ensemble. "You're quiet tonight." Sofia looked up. "Have you ever met someone who's afraid to be seen? Like, really afraid?" Miranda paused. "Yes, a few people. Why do you ask?" "I met a girl named Delilah today. Her mom works here. Delilah is amazing at the harp. But she won't play for anyone because she's scared of what they'll say, even if they love it." Miranda sat beside her. Being good at something, especially something that stands out, can be scary, because not everyone will understand, but that doesn't mean it's not worth doing." "I told her that," Sofia murmured, "but I don't know if she believed me." Miranda smiled gently. "Then tell her again, and again. Sometimes people need someone to believe in them louder than the voices that made them doubt." Sofia gave a light smile and hugged her mom. "Now, would you mind looking over these music sheets Amber made for the ball?" Miranda asked, setting the pile down beside her. Sofia smiled. "Sure." The next day, Sofia returned to the music room, this time with an idea. Delilah was there again, fingers floating over the strings. "Hey," Sofia said, stepping in. "Do you want to come with me?" Delilah blinked. "Where?" Sofia just smiled. "You'll see." They walked through the halls and up a staircase Sofia had rarely used. At the top was the Royal Gallery, where portraits of Enchantia's heroes and heroines stood tall and still. Sofia led her to a bronze plaque under one of the newer portraits, her own. "This was after I helped save the Flying Derby," Sofia said, pointing. "Everyone saw me win the final race, but what they didn't see was me falling off twice and wanting to quit." Delilah looked up at her, surprised. "You? But you're the princess." "Exactly, which meant people expected me not to mess up, but I did, and that's okay, because trying again, that's what helped me grow." Delilah did not speak for a while. Then, finally, "You think I should try again too?" Sofia's smile was soft, but sure. "I think the world needs to hear you." That evening, Sofia arranged for Delilah to play a song in the small courtyard during sunset tea quiet hour, just a few guests and a table surrounded by rose vines and golden light. Delilah looked terrified, her hands trembling. "What if I mess up?" she asked. Sofia held her hand. "Then we keep going, together." Delilah nodded, then stepped forward. She sat at the harp and began. The melody that floated out was soft and light, then deeper and richer. It carried through the garden like wind through trees. Queen Miranda closed her eyes to listen. Amber paused her sketching. The staff stood silently at the edges. Even her mom wiped a tear from her face. When Delilah finished, there was a beat of silence. Then, applause. Delilah turned to Sofia, her eyes wide. They clapped. "They did," Sofia said with a proud grin, "because they heard you." Amber stood up from her seat and walked over, her voice soft but genuine. "You play beautifully, Delilah. You should have joined me during the harvest ball planning. I've been struggling to find the perfect musical theme." Delilah blinked in surprise. You think I could help?" Amber gave her a small, elegant smile. "Of course. Great music comes from the heart, and you clearly have one full of it." From behind them, Queen Miranda nodded. "We would love to have you come by more often if you would like. I think Enchantia would be better with your music in it." The rest of the guests murmured in agreement, some offering warm applause once more. Delilah's face lit up with a kind of quiet disbelief, as though she'd been waiting a long time to be told she belonged somewhere, and now it was finally happening. Sofia stepped beside her. "See? The world didn't fall apart. No one said anything unkind. In fact, it looks like they want to hear more." Delilah laughed, a full, bright sound that rang as beautifully as her harp. "You were right. It's scary, but I'm glad I tried." Sofia reached over and gently squeezed her hand. "Trying is the first step toward being heard. I've learned that a lot of things we're scared of only lose their power when we stop hiding from them." As the sun rose over Enchantia the following day, the castle buzzed with a new kind of excitement. Queen Miranda had arranged for a few of the castle musicians to offer Delilah informal lessons. Sofia helped gather harp sheet music, while Clover and Robin had taken it upon themselves to find the perfect practice spot in the garden, somewhere open, peaceful, and blooming with summer flowers. Delilah had become more confident overnight, smiling more, sitting taller in her chair and even suggesting a duet with Sophia. The idea made both girls giggle nervously, but neither said no. Later that afternoon, Sophia wrote in her journal from her windowsill, Clover napping beside her. Today I learned that courage isn't always about fighting villains or going on quests. Sometimes it's just about helping someone remember they matter, even when they're afraid to believe it. I think Delilah helped me learn something too. Everyone has a voice, but not everyone feels brave enough to use it. That's why it's important to have a friend who tells them they can. As she closed her journal and looked out toward the courtyard where Delilah now played freely beneath a blooming wisteria tree, Sophia smiled to herself. And that day, Enchantia didn't just gain a new musician, it gained a new friend. The end.